My name is Hector Marchena, and this is my story. I wanted to share my story, my struggles, what I've been through in life, so you guys can really get to know who I am and what I stand for. Let's just start from the beginning. I was born in McAllen, Texas, October 15, 1993. I believe I wasn't supposed to be here. My life, it's a miracle. My mom was an alcoholic and a drug addict. Due to her abuse, she was actually gonna have twins, but she lost my little twin sister. After that, not knowing she was still pregnant, she kept her abuse. And that's what led me into being born premature, 7 months and 3 weeks old. Doctor says I wasn't gonna make it. As they said, my lungs were fully formed and I wasn't gonna last long. Since birth, my life was somewhat harsh. We decided to go back to Mexico because due to my mom's immigration status. Once back in Mexico, the lives for my brothers and me didn't get any easier. My mom let her drug abuse get the best of her. She abandoned us and left us with our grandma. Luckily, she's always been there for us since day one. My uncles and grandfather will help us financially. I still remember one day my grandma went out and bought a cooler, and she would buy ice pops every single week for me to sell them on the streets for 1 peso. And that was my first job at only 9 years old. I still remember my grandma would tell me not to cross the streets, to just go sell around the block and come back home. But I was always determined to sell a full cooler, so I wouldn't care. I would cross that street, I would go knock doors, keep on knocking on doors till I didn't have one in me. I also worked at a taco stand and a tortilleria. They would only pay me 10 pesos per week. See, I'm not ashamed to share this with you guys because this has only made me a better person, and it has helped me appreciate the little things in life a lot more. I was 14 years old when we decided to move back to the United States. Like I said before, I was born here, so why not come here as any other Mexican families or anybody that come here? They come here for what? To follow their dreams, to have a better future, and that's what we did. I went to INA school for people to learn English. It actually only took me about a year to fully understand English, and right after that, I went to McLean High School. At McLean High School, things got a little rough. I was being bullied a little. You know, I was being pushed around in the hallways. I used to play soccer outside at recess, and random people would come, grab my ball, and throw it across the building. Right after middle school, I went straight to regular classes at Southeast High School, and my life felt like it was finally starting to get back to normal. That's when I decided to play sports. I played soccer my 4 years of high school, and I actually tried football my sophomore year. And that's when I got introduced into weightlifting for the first time. Another reason why I started weightlifting, it was because my uncle back in Mexico, he was actually pretty built, and I always looked up to him and wanted to look like him one day. As soon as I graduated high school, I was only 120 pounds. I decided to take my fitness journey a lot more serious. At first, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about working out, what to hit, what goes first, what goes next. I went from 120 to 130, from 130 to 160. At 160, I was really proud of the progress that I decided to do a show. I did a little bulk and bulked up all the way to 175, and then I cut down all the way to 154, maybe 150, and I decided to step on stage. I got 7th place in novice class. Right after my show, I found out that I was gonna be a dad. Scared, confused, I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I literally thought my life was gonna be over. Literally, I wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting it or anything. But then it hit me. I, growing up, didn't have a father either. And I wasn't gonna let that happen again. In the process of me finding out that I was gonna be a dad, I actually stopped everything. I stopped working out, I got a little depressed, and I stopped working out for about 6 months. But one day, I decided to go to Metroflex, and that's where I met Chris for the first time.
So I met Hector at Metroflex Gym in Fort Worth around December 2014.
I went up to him and asked him for a picture, told him that I always watch his videos, and that's how I learned a lot of my stuff. And I took a picture with him, and so I tagged him on the picture and saying, we should chase the pump one day. He actually reposted the picture. I remember I got like 400 followers that day, and he said, yeah, we should chase the pump one day. The workout never happened. Not hard feelings. After that, I was determined to make my dreams come true. I was determined to follow what I started. So I started buying his clothing line. And I started tagging him in a bunch of pictures all the time.
Most of all, what's very important to me, he's passionate about pump chasers. One of the things that stood out about Hector was, for one, his transformation.
One day I went to 7th Street where they have a lot of little bars. And I was there, and from far I see Chris and Miranda in the corner. And I decided, man, I have to go say hi to him again. And surprisingly, he recognized me. Chris has a good-ass memory. And he said, hey, you're Hector, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's me. He's like, yeah, I see you tag me on pictures all the time. I met you at Metroflex about a year ago. And he said that it was okay for me to stay. A week went by. Some random number texted me saying, hey, this is Chris Jones, what are you doing? And at first I thought it was a friend just making a dumb joke or trying to be funny with me, you know? And I didn't text back or anything. I went onto my Instagram, and he actually had messaged me too. I had forgotten that I had actually messaged him about a year ago, asking him for an opportunity. I messaged him saying, hey bro, I see your pump is growing. I would one day like to be part of it. And I gave him my phone number and my email. So that's how he actually got my phone number. I went right away and texted him back. After that, we became good friends. He started inviting me to meetups. He started saying, let's take some pictures for the pump chasers. Let's do this video edit. And little by little, he brought me into the team. Like I said, my goal is to one day motivate, inspire thousands of lives through my story, my journey, and everything that I'm doing right now. I always wanted to be known for something good, something that people can look at. Someone can look at me and be like, oh, that's Hector. That's why I started working out. Oh, that's Hector. That's why I lost 20 pounds. Oh, that's why I gained 40 pounds. See, people always tend to make excuses. I was in a poor familyhood. But guess what? I was too. I didn't let that stop me. Oh, my mom was a drug addict and an alcoholic. I didn't know anything else but to follow the same path. My mom was one too. I didn't let that determine my future. Oh, I didn't have a dad to mold me into a man. Guess what? Till this day, I still don't know my dad. And I didn't let that stop me. I didn't let that make me into a bad parent. I didn't let that influence the relationship I have now with my son. The gym has been a way for me to let my stress, confusion, loneliness, anger out. My name is Hector Marchena, pump chairs athlete, and I believe in fitness. If there's someone out there that can relate with my struggles, to see that it's possible for you not to go in the wrong directions because of your past, to be strong and stand tall, to do what you believe in, to follow your dreams, what truly makes you happy. And this is what I love to do, motivate others with my fitness journey.